Plus, I got to go see my kids' Christmas recital, which should be
cool,
amazing.
Hello and welcome to REKT Podcast. I am Bunchu alongside my esteemed colleague and co-host Crypto Chamber. Chamber, how you doing, buddy?
Doing pretty good, man. You know, it's we're mid-December. We're a week away from Christmas. It's cold as shit outside. You know, holiday parties are happening. I have a little bit more alcohol in my system on a daily basis. It's good. It's a great time of the year, you know? One could say the most wonderful time of the year.
Oh, wow. We should parody the now controversial Baby It's Cold Outside to Chamber It's Cold Outside and just make the words about things in your life.
I would really like to do that. I think that would be fun.
I think we could. Yeah. So I have just finished my last overnight business travel of the year, which is fantastic. So that's great. So I won't be recording from any Hilton Garden Inns, Hampton Inns, Doubletrees, or anything of the sort for the rest of the year, and that makes me very happy.
What's your hotel like points? Like which card
so
I'm
a Hilton guy.
You're a Hilton guy, okay.
Yeah,
I'm a Marriott guy.
Well, we're supposed to use Hilton for work, so I created a new one, and that's our preferred one for my job. So I've got all the Hilton points.
Nice.
Yeah.
Hey, actually, speaking of hotels, I have a pretty funny story. I think that you'll enjoy.
Do it.
We had our management team holiday party 2 nights ago. Yeah, 2 nights ago. And we actually the hotel we were staying at, we had rented out the presidential suite at this hotel. Oh, it was nice. It was nice. And we had so I think a week before, the email went out saying that they were thinking about playing they were thinking about playing some poker. And, we have full bar and, all that fun stuff. And I'm like,
is this at a casino?
No, just at the hotel, like just in the group.
Nice.
There's a dozen of us in the management team. So, there's enough for a pretty good poker game.
Cool.
And I'm kind of new to the group. I've been with the team for about a year now. And I'm not sure, these guys are talking poker like, they mean business. And,
right.
Me, I'm not a gambler. But
not a good one.
Not a good one. I mean, that's obvious. But
although you did take third place in our poker tournament,
so this is funny actually. So I've been adjacent to big gamblers for the majority of my life. Now with yourself, you've taken over the reins as my close gambler friend. But for years, I had one of my best friends. He was a semi-professional poker player, and we would play. We used to live together, and I would play occasionally with them. So I'd just been adjacent to it. So I had talked to my boss, and I said, I don't. Like, what are we talking about? Like, I was worried, like, these guys are some pretty high rollers. Like right. We're doing, like, I don't want to lose, like, $1,000, basically, like, right before Christmas is what I'm not looking to do. And he's like, no. Like, we play, $20 a hand. Like, not $20 a hand, but, $20 a buy-in, $40 a buy-in. I'm like, oh, that's fairly reasonable. I'm like, I don't mind losing $100. So, sure enough, we, go for dinner, go back to the hotel. We start playing. And, I hear them talking, and I start getting a little suspicious about how involved they are in poker and how much they know the game. So I'm again, I know some, I can play and, not make a complete fool of myself. And I'm watching, and so, we're playing Texas Hold'em, and, the bets start going around, 2 cards get dealt out, 3 cards get flipped over, and they're flipping 1 over at a time and betting. So like, you know, the flop.
Okay.
And they're betting. So the betting starts
the
and
flop comes out and they're not putting all three face up at once?
Correct. They put three face down and then one at a time had a round of betting.
So and then Texas Hold'em.
Right. So I'm watching, I'm like, what is happening here? And so sure enough, like I fold, like I had a shit hand. So I fold and I'm watching, and sure enough, they bet on all three of those of the flop, and the betting stops on the third one. And, you know, whoever won the hand, and I'm like, this doesn't seem right. Like in my head, like again, I don't play poker a ton. I'm like, I feel like this is wrong. And I'm like, at the same time, I don't want to like call it out and be 100% wrong. You know what I mean? And look like an asshole.
Right.
So I kind of grab my phone and I'm like, I just Google like Texas Hold'em and then images. I just want to see an image of like a hand. And I'm like, yep, confirmation. There should be 5 cards down. You know what I mean? Flop, river, turn. So I just speak up. I'm like, hey guys, I'm pretty sure this is wrong. There should be 5 cards down. And everybody kind of like, no. I'm like, yeah, I'm pretty sure there is. And then after that, I went from being, in my mind, the worst poker player at the table to realizing I might be the best poker player at this table. And I, sure enough, just obliterated everybody after that. So they didn't want to play. We played one hand that lasted a few hours, and or like one buy-in that lasted a few hours. A couple other guys, rebought, but yeah, just destroyed everybody. I thought you would be proud of me. But
I was very proud of you.
I was super nervous, and then I'm like, I was even more nervous when I had to make like a. I'm like, call out
when you had to come off the top rope and say,
right,
this
call
is
out the
not
entire
Hold'em.
group. None of you 11 other jamokes realize this.
Know how to play Hold'em? Like, what the hell?
So nervous. So yeah, I thought you would appreciate that one.
That's so funny. Oh my God.
And we were like I was very drunk. Again, I don't gamble and I don't really get super drunk that often either. And I was drinking hard. So there was that,
Oh, what day was this?
This would have been Tuesday night.
Oh. What else happened Tuesday night, Chamber?
I think nothing. I think I finished the game and crawled into my hotel room and went to bed. I don't think...
Did you check your phone at all?
I don't believe I did.
Were you on Twitter at all?
Ooh, that's really off brand for me. I'm not on Twitter late at night, so probably we may have gotten hacked.
Yeah, I've hacked my balls. I'm scolding you for this. So on last show, we were talking about TikTok and some people on Twitter that are, getting into TikTok and things like that because there was a crypto story about it. And you brought up Mr. Michael Nye and said you were blocked by him.
Yes, I did. I did say that.
Then you proceeded to basically troll him from our podcast account and get us blocked.
So I wish that was a different story. So yes, I mean troll anyone again.
Now hold on.
We've discussed in the past. Okay,
former guest of the show.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe be nicer.
Okay, you know what? Fair point. So what happened was we were talking about TikTok last show.
Yes.
And again, I've been blocked, unfortunately, for my shenanigans. Rightfully so. I get it. So I was on the REKT podcast Twitter, and I saw that he had tweeted something about
Drunk.
TikTok. No. This was prior to being drunk.
Oh, okay.
So this was just an honest, like we're having some fun. And he had tweeted something about TikTok.
And you responded, "Hey, we talked about
this,
TikTok,
And then I made like a funny tweet. It's just like, and also, can you unblock Chamber?
This is Chamber.
By the way, this is Chamber. It was a funny tweet. I thought it was light.
I chuckled at that. Yeah.
Exactly. It was all in good fun. And sure enough, exactly. Sure enough, at whatever time it was probably 1 o'clock in the morning. 1:30 in the morning. He responds to it. And he says something along the lines, and it seemed a little salty, if I'm being 100% honest. I can't see it now because
I would probably have been salty as well.
Again, it was a little light on my side. And basically, wanted me to make a public apology on my Twitter account, and then he would unblock me. Obviously, being on the poker high that I was, plus being pretty intoxicated, I felt pretty good about myself at the time, and I had a pretty big chuckle. And then I started trolling a little bit harder. Again, I don't think anything too offside, but so much so that
but that paired with your other shenanigans.
100%. Yeah. Don't get me wrong. It was a cumulative effect. Yeah. And unfortunately, and I do apologize, I did get us blocked on the REKT podcast account as well. And it was very quick.
I'm like, what the fuck? Because this happened, like, literally, I'm sleeping, and then I wake up the next morning, and I have a notification from REKT podcast that says, "Sorry, bunch of you, this was my fault."
Yeah, and it was the blocked account image. So I do apologize. I will go on record.
Apology?
I will go on record and apologize to Mr. Michael Nye.
Wow.
For I am a friendly ribber. For people that do know me in real life.
What is our hashtag? Playfully disrespectful.
Playfully disrespectful. I've been like this literally my entire life. My wife hates me for it. If she could block me in real life, she probably would. So Michael Nye is not alone in being annoyed by my shenanigans. So I do apologize. I think the real thing, you need to put out an apology TikTok.
How does this work? I'm just trying to say sorry.
So, yeah, shout out to Mr. Michael Nye. I'm sorry I hurt your feelings.
That's heartfelt. I feel like that's genuine. And I feel like you're not just doing it because I was pissed at you.
I do. I felt so bad. Like, oh, Bunch is not gonna like this one. Yeah. As we all know, you're not the one that likes to do these types of things.
No, I am not the confrontational.
No. So again, as drunk as I was, I did try to keep it still playful as much as I could.
Hashtag playfully disrespectful.
Yeah. Hashtag playfully disrespectful. So
anyway,
I apologize to you more so. Is really the true apology. Is a Bunchu apology.
That's okay. I forgive you.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
All right, let's get into some news. You want to start us off, or you want me to?
You know what? I feel like I need to start this off because another day goes by, and another Canadian, in this case, two Canadians, scam some people. So I don't know what the hell we are doing here in Canada, but crypto and Canadians just equal scam. You know what? And maybe I'm the mouthpiece for this. So this is from the Block Crypto. Two brothers plead guilty to Bitcoin scam worth over $150,000. Two Canadian brothers plead guilty to Bitcoin scam worth over $150,000 in federal court. Oregon Live reported on Monday that the two brothers, Karanjit and Jagrup Singh, stole about 23 Bitcoin, currently worth about $157,000, from a 63-year-old Oregon woman after they created a fake Twitter account to impersonate Hong Kong-based cryptocurrency exchange HIT BTC. Karanjit and Jagrup trick the woman to share the login credentials and use the information to withdraw 23.2 Bitcoins from the woman's HIT BTC account to Karanjit's Kraken account. Karanjit was arrested in July and Jagrup turned himself in on Monday, per the report. Each pleaded guilty to conspiring to commit wire fraud and money laundering. Both will serve 2 years in prison when authorities announced sentencing March 17th. Jagrup is still finishing his college degree pending sentencing. The woman will get her money back with Assistant U.S. Attorney Quinn Harrington received a $142,000 check from the brothers. The woman who watched the plea hearing Monday and asked not to be identified told Oregon Live, quote, I feel sorry for them. I have a son that's 27. I hope they can turn their smarts into something more beneficial, end quote.
Wow, that's pretty Canadian generosity.
Well, that's an American lady. I mean, that's an Oregonian.
Yes.
Is that right? Am I saying that properly? But yeah, she is turning the other cheek, if you will. And
what the hell's going on up in Canada?
Man, I don't know. We're no good. I'm sorry. I apologize on behalf of all Canadians. Karen Jeet and Jag Group. I can't speak for them, but I'm sure they will say sorry, as Canadians are known to do. But yeah. I think the most shocking thing out of this report for me is there's a 63-year-old woman that has 23 Bitcoin.
That's true.
That is impressive, no?
That is very true.
Holding it all on HitBTC for some reason.
Yes.
So which
is a shady-ass exchange to begin with.
Keep your Bitcoins in a hardware wallet, not on exchange, people. I mean, fool me once,
Yeah.
So what any thoughts on this one? Just don't trust Canadians, essentially?
Yeah, I don't trust any of you.
I know, that's fair. That's probably the right stance.
At least none of you that are involved in crypto.
I really feel like I am the mouthpiece for Canadian crypto people.
Yeah.
Because I think a lot of Americans and people all over the world just assume Canadians are these, uber nice, over the top, polite people. And I mean, if you're listening to this show, I am not that.
Right.
I mean, I am nice. Like we were on the last show, you were kind of shocked. I think it was a Would You Rather.
Oh yes, your Would You Rather. Yes.
I am the most monstrous Canadian. But at the end of the day, I'm still nice, overall. So
yes.
I am the worst one of us. But we're
if
still
you're
okay.
the worst one, that's still pretty
That's what
good.
I'm saying. Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah. I props to the 62-year-old lady though for having 20-something Bitcoin.
Yeah, no kidding, eh?
That's more than I'll ever have in my life. So
it's so sad to say, but you're probably right.
I am definitely right about that.
Should she wait for a big dip to rebuy and maybe get like 30 Bitcoin?
Yeah, probably. It's been dipping the last couple days, ish, and then it bounced back a little yesterday. But I think she should. She needs those those private trading courses that charge 8 BTC. Have you seen those tweets?
I have seen those tweets. Pretty tough. Pretty tough.
All right, my turn. My turn. Monero's lead maintainer, Fluffy Pody, friend of the show, former guest, steps down after 5 years of heading the project. Ricardo Spagni, the lead maintainer of the privacy-oriented cryptocurrency Monero, has stepped down. He led the project since its launch in 2014 and will now continue as a backup maintainer, according to an announcement Monday. Snipa? I don't know. SNIPA, a longtime contributor to Monero, is taking over Fluffy Pony's role. It's not clear why he resigned, and so he once expressed his thoughts about quitting the project as the lead, quoting, I was the lead maintainer across all projects, and at some point last year, I was like, I can't do this, Fluffy Pony told CoinDesk in May 2018, adding, I will always be an advocate for privacy and for Monero, a part of the community and part of the Monero community, but my actual responsibilities by definition need to be reduced. Interesting. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what that's going to mean for the Monero overall, but yeah, it seems like he's still going to have a finger on the pulse of it. So, just give himself a little breathing room.
So I wonder if do you think it has anything to do? Obviously, this is speculation, but do you think it has anything to do with the kind of increased regulation around privacy coins and some recent delistings of privacy coins, including Monero?
So what I would, yes, what I would think is, during if we do have a more mass adoption happening, and the more mass adoption, the more focus that it's going to happen on privacy coins. And if you're a privacy coin, and there are all these regulations and different countries speaking out against them, I don't think you want to be the face of it, because then you get held accountable for these types of things. So stepping down maybe a little earlier before these types of things happen might not be a bad idea.
Yeah, I agree. All right, next.
I got another one here. Again, from the Block Crypto. Fortress Investment Group extends new buyout offer to Mt. Gox creditors. So Mt. Gox back in the news. Fortress Investment Group has sent an updated letter to thousands of creditors of the now defunct crypto exchange Mt. Gox, offering to purchase their claims. Mt. Gox, if we all remember, went bankrupt in 2014, long before I knew what Bitcoin was, after reportedly losing over $480 million worth of Bitcoin. Last year, Japan's court changed Mt. Gox's case status from bankruptcy to civil rehabilitation, which allowed the company to restructure its business and might possibly lead to creditors getting some of their assets back. Mt. Gox currently holds 141,000 Bitcoin on behalf of the creditors, which constitute 15% of the 940,000 Bitcoin originally lost, according to the latest report. Wow. In a letter penned by Fortress Managing Director Michael Hourigan, the firm proposed to acquire creditors' Bitcoins held by Mt. Gox at Bitcoin's current market price. At last check, Bitcoin was trading at $7,200 a coin. That would provide creditors with a guaranteed payment, but Fortress would pocket 30% of what they could have been paid. The letter cites the ongoing lawsuits filed by two large creditors, Mt. Gox parent company, Tybini, and U.S.-based Bitcoin business incubator CoinLab, as a reason why creditors should sell. Quote, these lawsuits threaten the delay and dilute distribution on your claim, the letter says. Creditors have until December 31st to make their decision. And according to an October report, a Tokyo district court, a total of 56 Mt. Gox creditors have filed petitions for this claim. In recent months, the court has approved Tybini's claim concerning over 82,000 Bitcoins and 386 million Japanese yen, which is around $3.5 million, as well as CoinLab's claim concerning 385 Japanese yen, around 3.5 million as well, and delay damages. So the legal process will likely drag on for a long time, and Fortress hopes creditors will sell to them instead. This is the second time Fortress has offered Mt. Gox creditors a deal. In July, the firm offered $900 per Bitcoin, as per CoinDesk in the report last time. So, what would you do? Would you sell?
I mean, it's been going on for so long. It sure has. I would probably just sell.
Yeah, I agree.
What do you think?
I'm with you. I think that's the move.
It's tough, but
it is tough, but I think that's the move.
Is it ever going to get resolved? I don't know. And
I don't.
You
it's
keep
so
seeing
much.
People that are leading it, backing down and changing roles and all this stuff. And I don't know. I don't know if it'll ever get really solved. And you're just sitting there holding or hoping. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a tough call, but it's just so many. It's so many Bitcoin. It makes it very difficult to resolve.
Right. 900,000, you said?
Yeah, almost 1 million Bitcoin.
That's ludicrous.
Right? Like it is.
That's insane. So, also more Bitcoin than I will ever have in my life.
That one, I mean, I could see you maybe surpassing the lady from Oregon, but I don't see you surpassing 940,000 Bitcoin.
Imagine, what would you do with 940,000?
I mean, that's a crazy amount. I mean, that's fuck you money. You know what I mean? Like double fuck you money.
What does that equate to? Hold on. So let's see. 900,000 times, let's just say 7,000.
Yeah.
Oops. 900.
It's like 7 billion?
Oh, God. Yeah. 6.3 billion.
Yeah.
Jeez.
That's enough. That's enough. That's still not, like, you think it would be more than that too. You know what I mean? Like,
Well, I mean, hopefully someday it will be.
yeah, only $7 billion.
Yeah, only $7 billion. All right, I got a couple more stories here for us. Come from the block Crypto. Crypto exchange Kraken acquires Circle's once mighty OTC desk. So, we've kind of seen Circle over the last couple months get a little back off a little from their crypto businesses. So we saw them sell Poloniex, right? A couple weeks ago. Mm-hmm. They sold Poloniex, and now they are selling their OTC trading desk to Kraken. So crypto exchange Kraken has bought Circle's over-the-counter desk. Circle has been looking for a buyer for its OTC desk since the summer, according to sources. And their OTC desk in 2018 saw a volume of 24 billion, which is a big deal in 2018. However, 2019, I guess, was not so kind. And Circle's a Boston-based crypto firm, and they were founded in 2013. They were one of kind of the earliest players in this digital asset field, and their OTC desk was once known as one of the most profitable businesses on the market, Kraken confirmed.
Yes.
And so they've basically had a tough time in 2018, and they are looking to do that. They've laid off in March. They laid off around 30 employees in their finance department, which is about 10% of its entire staff. And then Circle attributed this to challenging regulatory environment in the U.S. And its OTC business also suffered from an outflow of talent, including the former head of the OC trading in Hong Kong, Ryan Salame. So they were losing people as well. Interesting. So Poloniex, they acquired for $400 million in 2018 and sold it for much, much less. But I don't know. So they also announced that they plan to shut down Circle Pay in June. Mm-hmm. So they're getting out. What do you think about that?
I mean, we'll probably see this more and more. The changing of hands of these types of things. I think it's
kind of scary, though. Like,
it is pretty scary. You're right.
I mean, especially everybody is attributing it to, especially all the U.S. companies, attributing it to, regulations and all that stuff. And it's just like, all right, we're kind of getting hamstrung here in the U.S. on what we can and can't do, where we can and can't buy, all this stuff. And it's making it very hard for any businesses to run in the space in the U.S. And so pretty tough. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I mean, we're seeing it more and more. Obviously, in the U.S., we've talked about like mining companies coming in a little bit more, but the regulation side, I don't think miners get affected by regulation nearly as much as obviously exchanges and stuff like that. So, where the U.S. might be losing on those, they might be gaining in other facets of crypto.
Interesting. I got one more here that I saw this morning. Not necessarily crypto related, but crypto adjacent, I would say, just based on what we've seen in the past from scams and hackers and things like that. So this is actually from Fox and LA. Fox 11 tracks down Verizon employee accused of taking bribes from SIM swap hackers. So they are confronting this Verizon employee accused of taking thousands of dollars in bribes to assist criminals known as SIM swappers who can leave their victims financially ruined. So there's a picture of this dude. They don't have his name out here yet, I don't think. But for those of you who don't know what a SIM swap is, it's when a criminal is able to kind of get a hold of your phone number and personal information, and then basically impersonate you, and then they would basically have all your information transferred to a new SIM card that they have in their possession.
Right.
And then that person's effectively taking over your entire phone number, and they can take advantage of, text-based dual auths and things like that, where you may have a lot of sensitive information. So if they have access to your 2FA, obviously from a crypto standpoint, you can get crushed.
No bueno.
They can change passwords, lock people out of their own lives, everything basically. So this Robert Ross on October 26, 2018 is quoted here, says, "I took $1 million loss."
I'm sorry. One second. His name's Bob Ross.
Yes, Robert Ross. I took $1 million loss. My heart was pumping a lot. Fear, a deer in headlights. And it began when he says his phone began showing notifications for withdrawal requests on one of his financial accounts that he had never made. Moments later, his phone displayed no service from AT&T, and his laptop showed his Gmail account suddenly logged out. So between those things together, he realized something was way off and he was being hacked. Went to the Apple store, figured out what was going on, called AT&T to determine there was an unauthorized SIM change in the account, and they got him a new SIM card and activated it. By that time, all his money was already gone. $1 million was it's a lot of money. He lost his savings for his daughter's education and was all gone in less than an hour. And the hacker converted it all to Bitcoin and withdrew it. Wow.
Goodness. That is devastating.
He's quoted here saying, "I didn't have another $1 million. That was my $1 million."
That was the only one I had.
Yeah, that was it. So within 3 weeks of this, I guess they analyzed the AT&T cell tower pings in New York State and arrested 21-year-old Nicholas Truglia on numerous felony charges. But this is not the same guy, so this is just a story of someone else. He was extradited to California to face charges where he pleaded not guilty and is on trial in, October. He did this to a ton of people, and one of them was allegedly blockchain and cryptocurrency investor Michael Turpin. And he said he's been SIM swapped twice. So I've actually heard interviews with this guy, with Michael Turpin, talking about it. Turpin won a $75 million judgment against Truglia, who he sued for being involved in his 2018 SIM swap that stole $24 million from him in cryptocurrency.
Whew.
Wow.
Crypto be scamming.
Yeah, holy cow.
That's crazy. That's bananas.
Wow. So I guess also it says in this that this guy Truglia had even allegedly posted a tweet. It sounds like if you were a criminal, this is something you would do. Truglia had even allegedly posted a tweet stating he had stolen $24 million. On his phone preserved is the day of my hack, him texting his dad and his best friend saying, "I'm rich. I got 20 million and I just got 100 Bitcoin. I'm not kidding." So, I feel like that's something you would do if you were a criminal.
Listen, I'm Canadian. I'm in crypto. Obviously, I've already stolen from millions of people already. I just know
the
how to
only
keep my
thing you've
mouth
stolen
shut.
from me is time.
That's all. And isn't that the best? Isn't that the best currency of all?
It is. It's a depreciating asset. So
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
It's definitely not inflationary.
One thing I did want to mention, not about this story, but just something we were talking about last show, was the Quadriga stuff.
Mm-hmm.
The guy's name is what? Gerald Cotton?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
So I just want to point out that there is a major league baseball pitcher named Jarrell Cotton.
Uh-huh. Is he the same guy?
Coincidence? I think not.
Oh, it's a curveball.
I mean, I'm just saying, maybe someone should look into Jarrell Cotton. He's already got $1 million. He's major league pitcher. He's got millions of dollars.
You could definitely launder all that money through a Major League Baseball contract, can't you?
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense.
I mean, not saying, just saying. Somebody look at Jarrell Cotton.
Just maybe some medical records. Does he have Crohn's? Just a quick check.
Is he Canadian?
Yeah, is he Canadian? Is he from Saskatoon? The funniest of all Canadian cities. So.
How much Tim Hortons does he? How much money does he spend on Tim Hortons a year?
That's these are red flags.
Anyway, that is going to do it for the news. What do we got next on Tap Chamber? Are we going with our crypto MFK, or are we going with the other segment?
Let's do some crypto MFK first.
All right, we are going with an old classic that we haven't done in a while. We are doing MFK.
Okay, here's a shot out of a cannon. Oprah, Barbara Walters, your wife. You gotta fuck one, marry one, kill one. Go!
All right, we each wrote one for each other, right? Mm-hmm. All right, I'll go first.
Okay.
So mine is portfolio tracking apps.
Uh-huh. Oh.
Marry one, fuck one, kill one.
Uh-huh.
Delta, Blockfolio, and CoinStats.
All right. This is fairly easy. I'm going to bang Blockfolio. I'm going to marry Delta because that is the one I use the most, and I love her very much. And yeah, I'm going to kill CoinStats. I remember using CoinStats early on. Not throwing shade at them. I just don't remember it being as, and again, who knows how many updates have come out since 2 years ago. I just didn't remember it being as friendly. I did use Blockfolio for a little bit, and then threw her to the side for my wife, Delta. So yeah, that would be mine. So
I'm going the opposite way. I'm going CoinStats is the main one I use.
It is, eh?
Yeah, it is.
Interesting.
And in fact, I don't know if you remember this, but we actually worked with CoinStats back in the day and gave away 5 free pro subscriptions.
We did. I remember now. So
yes. And so
I love burning bridges.
No, I don't think you did. I mean,
okay, good.
I use it. It's my favorite one, actually.
There you go.
And I track all my stuff on here, and that's what I use.
Interesting.
So I'm going to marry that one because that's the one I use every single day, day in and day out. The only other one I even have on my phone is Blockfolio. So I will choose to bang Blockfolio. I think you know what you're getting.
Blockfolio is hot.
Yeah.
Blockfolio is super hot.
Yeah.
So you can definitely bang her.
And I'm going to kill Delta. I don't use it, and I don't even have it on my phone.
You got to kill somebody.
Yeah, it's nothing personal, Delta.
It's the rules of the game.
Rules of the game. By the way, I just opened my Blockfolio for the first time in a long time here.
Oh, really?
And let's see. What I do like about Blockfolio is you can kind of create different portfolios. I'm just looking at I can't go any further than that. I'm just looking at the Need a Coin Christmas calendar from last year.
It ain't pretty.
No, just in the last. Oh, let's see. I could go a year. All right, so this is about right. A year change. Yeah. At its height, I would. Oh boy, yeah. So let's see. All over the time in the last year. It is down 47%.
Oh, really? Let's see what mine says. I wonder if I have the exact same one on Delta. See, I have it down. Oh, are you looking dollar? I look at BTC. Are you looking BTC?
Yeah, I'm looking at dollar.
Okay, so yeah, I have the same thing for dollar. Down BTC, we're down 58%. Is what I have here. Is that about right?
That's rough.
Actually, it's better than I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be like 80.
Yeah, I agree. Actually. So, all right. What's yours?
So I'm gonna give you an option because I wrote down first one was MFK crypto podcasts. And I'm like, well, maybe he won't want to do that. So as a backup, I put U.S. crypto exchanges. So you
Interesting. I was actually going to go with exchanges first, too. Let's go podcast.
I love it. It's like my Christmas present.
That's
Okay.
it. Merry Christmas, you filthy animal.
All right. So MFK Crypto Podcast. You got to bang one. You got to marry one. You got to kill one. They are Crypto Street Podcast.
Okay.
Crypto Entrepreneurs Podcast with our friend Charles. And Ledgercast with our
Oh, my God. This is really hard.
I know.
Shit.
I love all of these people.
Me too. Fuck.
That's why we made it hard.
All right. Let me see here. All right. Here's how I'm going to do this. I'm actually going to marry Ledger's podcast.
Yeah.
I'm going to marry Ledgercast. I've been listening to Ledgercast since I can remember. And, you know, from a difference from our podcast standpoint, it is, you know, extremely informative to me when I'm learning something, you know?
Yes.
So I'm going to marry that one. It's, you know, that's the one I'm going with for marriage.
Fair enough.
I'm going to bang Crypto Street.
That makes a lot of sense.
I'm gonna bang
Street,
Crypto
like,
Street.
I feel like they know their way around the bedroom.
They do. They'll
They'll put a finger somewhere where you're not used to. You know what I mean? Like they'll trick you somehow.
I would say fun. Crypto in the streets, freaks in the sheets.
Absolutely.
You know, that's
100%.
Crypto Street. All right. So because I play fantasy football in their football league, you know, I talk to them.
You're involved. You're involved.
Yeah, I'm involved with them. So I really enjoy those guys. Then, you know, also they kind of got me into the podcasting itch because that was the first show I appeared on.
It's the first time I heard your lovely voice.
Yeah, exactly. So that's going with them for the bang. And then unfortunately that leaves my boy Charles left.
Hardest working man in crypto right now. Are you kidding me?
I know, but look, you picked two that I have
I made it
long-standing loyalties to, you know.
Yep.
So, and you know, Charles is new to me. So
I hear you. I hear you.
Unfortunately, it's nothing personal.
Again,
Charles.
These are difficult decisions we need to make. We would bang and marry all of them if we could.
Ask me again in a year, and you know, maybe that changes. So
fair enough.
Let's see. We'll bump this in a year. What are you doing?
Well, I as well am going to marry Ledger because for all the same reasons
bang
you gave.
Charles.
Okay. I am 100% going to bang Charles because much like Dennis Reynolds, the ultimate fantasy is banging myself. And Charles is, from what I can see, the closest thing that I can find.
But now,
to
hold
bang.
on here. Now I have to challenge you here.
Okay. All right.
We are talking about the podcast itself.
I understand. Okay. If we're being honest, then it's,
so Charles's podcast is not like you.
Right. But in the sheets, I feel like crypto or Twitter Charles is coming out in the sheets.
Okay, so you're going for crypto Charles.
Yeah, right. Crypto Charles in the sheets.
Twitter Charles, sorry.
Yeah, exactly. Sorry, that's what I meant. And then unfortunately, my friends over at Crypto Street unfortunately have to go on this one. It's just because I don't identify with any of them as mirrors of myself to bang. So it's really a me problem, not a them problem.
That was a good one. I'm happy I took the challenge for that one.
Yeah, no, that was good. You leaned into it, and I think it worked out for the best.
All right, and then last but not least, before we get out of here, we are going to do our best and worst Christmas gifts of all time. Do you want to start? Do you want to go best?
Yeah,
first?
let's do. Do you want to do best? We'll go one category.
Both
each.
Best. Yeah, we'll do. Well, wait.
You want to do worst first and then best?
No, let's do best first.
Okay, so I'll go first with best. This happened, I want to say like 7 or 8 years ago. Maybe a little bit longer. Say 8 to 10 years ago. Christmas, we're at my in-laws' house. and they are big Christmas people. They go overboard with presents, and it's far too much every single time. And, we do stocking. You guys do stockings in the U.S., right? Like your Christmas stockings and stuff, right? So we do stockings first, and then we do gifts after. So we're opening up our stockings. We're all adults. At this time, nobody has kids. We're the late 20-year-olds kids in the house. My wife's brother's there with his girlfriend, and we're the kids. So we get spoiled the most in back then. And so I'm going through the stock, and there's your typical things, your chocolates, your Toblerone bars, this kind of thing. And then at the very bottom, I feel this like plasticky bag thing. And I'm like, what the heck is this? I thought it was like stuffing, at the bottom of a shoe. Sometimes like a brand new shoe, you get that like, the stuffing.
Like the paper.
So I kind of grab it and I pull it out, and I realize it's an ounce of Primo Kush at the bottom of this sock. It was a big old bag of pot. And the looks, and I'm telling you, my in-laws they're currently in their mid-70s.
So wait a second. This is your in-laws that got this for you?
100%. So at the time, maybe they're like late 60s, and straight boomers. You know what I'm saying? Like this is not, and this is years before even a hint of legalization was happening in Canada.
Wow.
Even a hint. And yeah, sure enough, and the look on their face. I looked at both my in-laws. The smiles and the joy in their face will be in my memory forever. They were so happy. They were so impressed with themselves for getting it and couldn't stop laughing. And that was, to this day, still my favorite gift of all time. I just not just that it was pot, but the fact that they got it for me and they were so ready to laugh and so ready to have some fun with it. That to me was one of the best Christmas.
Wow, that's really good. That's good.
Yeah, I thought that was real good.
I don't think I'm going to top that because that's like, not only is it an unorthodox Christmas gift,
it was like $200 worth of pot too. Like, I mean, it wasn't.
But it's it's your in-laws, which is great. So yeah, I'm not going to top that one. But mine would be probably the first time I ever got an Xbox.
Ooh,
and one, there are a couple of reasons. One, the way it was actually gifted to me and my brother, and two, just the long-awaited gift of finally getting a console that I wanted. So when we were kids, the neighbors got their N64, and me and my brother wanted one so bad, and we would just always bother my parents and ask for one, and we never got it. And we were always salty, and we would just go over there and play their N64 for hours. So when the Xbox came out, obviously probably the hottest thing at the time, it was the hot Christmas gift. Everybody was asking for one, blah, blah, blah. So me and my
how
brother,
old would you have been? How old would you have been?
I'm probably, I don't remember. Let's see. Hold on. Let me see.
Because I feel like it was original Xbox. Is that what we're talking about? So that would have been like 2000?
I don't know. Probably around there.
Yeah, right around there, I would say. So what would that put you in? Like your teens? Early teens?
Hold on. When did the original Xbox come out here? November 15th, 2001.
Oh, perfect.
So it came out right in time for Christmas. 2001, I would have been a freshman or 8th grade, depending on the time of year.
In 2001, I was a freshman in university.
Wow. Okay. So
wow, that's great. I always think we're very close in age, and it's funny how much of an age gap there is when you're younger versus when you get older.
Isn't that funny? It is. It's why like relationship gaps when you're older aren't as weird.
Right, exactly. It's so funny. Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, I was
like, if you were 20, you can't date a 16-year-old.
No, you
if
cannot.
You're 26, you can certainly date a 22-year-old. You know what
exactly.
I mean? So I was either, in 8th grade or freshman year. I think I was a freshman at that point then, right? Because, so that was like what we wanted. And Christmas morning comes, we're at my grandmother's house and no Xbox. And we are devastatingly disappointed. And so like we go, the tradition was at that time, because we lived in Illinois, so we were visiting New Jersey for Christmas, so we would go to my grandmother's for Christmas morning, then we would go visit my dad's side of the family for like lunch-ish, and then do presents with them, and then come back to my grandma's in the evening. So me and my brother are like, all right, it's gotta be like, maybe we're getting it at my dad's side of the family. So like,
Right.
So we go there and we do gifts with them, and no Xbox.
Oh God.
We're just like, fuck, like, I can't believe this happened. And when you're like a disappointed kid on
It's a
Christmas,
big deal.
you feel like you feel like such a twat though. You're like,
Yeah.
I just got all this great stuff, and I'm being a little bitch. You know what I mean?
100%.
And so like, you're trying not to be that way.
At least you had that thought to try not to be.
Yeah, you're trying to be that way, and then you're like, be grateful for what you got, because you're a spoiled little shit to begin with.
Right.
But also in the back of your head, you're very disappointed you didn't get the Xbox,
Yes.
right? So we come back from my dad's side of the family, and we're eating dinner, at my grandmother's, and all of a sudden, down in the living room where everybody's hanging out, my dad just goes, "Yeah, what's this?" And it was just a gift that looked like it had been hidden from our sight. It was behind this chair, and he's like, "Oh, we must have forgotten one this morning." And it was the Xbox.
Oh my God. He
And
Red
he
Ridered
didn't
you. He Red Ridered you.
Yeah, that's exactly what he did. It's 100% what he did. And so me and my brother flipped out. It was, and so
I get goosebumps
I'll
right now.
never
This is
forget
exciting.
it. What?
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, I'll never forget it. So it was just one of those things, I'm sure I've gotten maybe more substantial gifts of some sort, but it was just the way it happened that obviously went according to his plan. I've never forgotten that.
And hearing both of our stories, the half of the worth of the gift is how it's presented. You know what I mean?
Correct. Yeah.
So I'm with you. I like a good story. That's awesome. I never got the console as a kid. My parents hated me, and by the time Xbox and PlayStation came out, I was basically out of the house, so they would not get it for me.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. Worst gift.
All right. Worst gift. And as I'm thinking about this, I'm not 100% sure it was a Christmas gift, but it's the one we're going to say for the sake of argument it was, because I can't confirm in my mind whether it was or not. It was a gift from my now wife. Maybe she was my wife at the time of the gift, but it was right around then. Again, probably in that 8 to 10 years ago, maybe eight years ago kind of thing. Maybe it was the same year I got the pot. My wife, gets me this, and I started traveling for work a little bit more. So she got me this leather like overnight bag, when you put your deodorant, colognes, and toothbrush.
Yeah. My wife, I always say, I call it like a dop kit or whatever it is, and then she's like, "You mean your makeup bag?"
Yeah, exactly. Makeup bag, exactly. Satchel.
Yeah.
So, I get it, and it's nice brown leather. It's embroidered with my initials. It's really, really nice. And I'm like, "Oh, this is nice." And she's like, "Yeah, I didn't know what to get you. I thought this was really good." She's like, "It was, it was pretty expensive." This was after Christmas. She's like, "Yeah, it was pretty expensive." I'm like, "What?" I'm like, "What do you mean it was pretty expensive?" She's like, "Yeah, I hope you like it," basically. I'm like, "Well, at the time, my wife didn't work. Like, I was the income. So, I mean, any Christmas presents that I received,
you were paying for it.
I was essentially paying for it.
Yes, right.
And I'm like, whoa. I mean, you get these for free most of the time. And then sure enough, she had spent like $120 on this thing. I'm like, and for years I couldn't get over it. Like, I'm like, I still use it to this day. I still have it because I'm getting every ounce of worth out of this thing. But yeah, it was like $100 plus, shipping or something like that. And I'm like, yeah, it would eat me alive for at least a good year. I'm like, why would you spend that much on something that I can get for free? It's like these people that buy $4,000 dogs. I'm like, you know how many dogs you can get for $4,000? A lot.
The $4,000 dog thing is hilarious to me.
As far as quality, it wasn't the worst gift because I still use it. That being said, I was in Nashville a couple of months ago for some work. One of the things that was awaiting in my hotel room as part of the group gift,
a courtesy gift,
was, I'm not joking you, a carbon copy of the exact same satchel that I currently have, with a little extra space. It was a touch bigger, and I got it for free. And I'm telling you, it is the exact same thing, except a little bit bigger. And so 8 years later, my wife and I had a great laugh about it. I'm like, see, I told you get them for free.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
So mine is, I feel bad. Like, you ever just have those people in your life that are just bad gift givers?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I have a family member that's like that. And it's, it's almost to the point where you kind of think they might be trolling. Like, you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
So, I don't want to say who it is in hopes that they don't listen, or that, if they ever hear this, I don't know who you are. Because they probably won't remember what I'm about to say anyway. But we're at my aunt's house for Christmas Eve, and we all do like, a little gift exchange and whatever. And it's just like, even when you do like a Secret Santa or something like that, you try to get something that's, personal to the people that you get, right? Or because, especially when you do it with your family, you know your family, you know what they're into, you know what they like, right? They got me, I guess, and I don't know what they were thinking. I don't know what triggered them to think that this would be, hey, this is something for Bunch.
Right up his alley.
This is something for Bunch. It was a electronic, like, plug-in, light-up plastic fish tank. Like, you can't even put actual fish in it. It's just like something that sits on your desk, like a weird aquatic lava lamp without the lava.
That is very trolly. I think they were trolling you.
They might have been, but then the problem is, like, they do this with like every gift that they get, like even things for like my.
So it wasn't like a one-off
my
gift
wedding,
or something like that.
My wedding. Like the wedding shower gift and all that stuff, like same kind of stuff. Like, and you're just like, thank you.
You're just not good at this, are you?
yeah, right. Or they just don't give a shit.
Right, exactly. That's so weird. So there's a track record of them not performing well.
Right. So that would be mine. But I do have one more question. So you have two little kids, and obviously big into the Christmas thing.
Yep.
It's you kids on Christmas morning.
It's a big thing for the kids. Yeah.
Yep. So what age were you when you found out that
I'm so glad you're bringing this up.
Santa was a crypto scam? Right.
It's a good question. I feel like it wasn't like a moment. I feel like it was like, evidence was building up to a certain point. Do you know what I'm saying? Like it was progressive. I would probably say like the fifth grade, maybe.
I was so old.
Sixth grade, like I don't know, something like that.
I was so old. I was so old. So, and then this kind of leads into my question, because same thing, right? Like evidence is building,
right?
That maybe this dude isn't real, right? Like maybe you're getting catfished,
right?
And but obviously, based on the best gift story I just told you, my dad went to very great lengths to convince us otherwise.
Interesting.
And so far, in fact, that you're just like, well, he can't not be real. Like he has to be real. Like, so what he would do, and this is the moment I found out that he wasn't. But so like I said, we would travel for Christmas, and
I'm sorry. So for the record,
we would all leave the house at the same time. And
I was just gonna say, for the record, when you got the Xbox, did you think Santa brought it? Yes.
No. I knew it was from them at that point.
Okay.
But I was probably not much. That was probably maybe the first Christmas after.
Okay.
So like I was probably an 8th grader, you know.
Right.
So we would travel for Christmas like this, and we would all leave the house at the same time, and go and travel, whatever, do all Christmas, and then things would just magically be there in our house when we got back.
Right.
And you're just like,
how's that even possible?
How the fuck, right? And so I'm like, all right, well, that's proof,
obviously,
Yep.
And
then one year we got, I think it was the year before the Xbox thing. One year we had he got us like this Papa-Shot thing from in the basement.
Yeah.
And it was all set up in the basement and everything, like with like hints leading down to the basement that there was something there, right?
Amazing.
And I'm like, how the fuck? And so we go call on our neighbors to come and play because they were, our best friends at the time. And the neighbor comes over and he's like, yeah, this is so cool. My parents came over and set it up. And so that was when I was like, oh my God, my earth shattered. But like, how boss was my dad to like get the neighbors to come over and set this up so we would fucking believe that Santa was real.
So we do stuff like that with our daughter now, where because we do so much traveling, sometimes we have to do a Christmas in the middle of the day. So like we'll go pick her up from school all together, and then we get back to the house and like all the Christmas lights are on, and like, oh, that's weird, like, we didn't have the Christmas lights on, and we'd come into the house and there's presents everywhere, right? So we would get it done
right
prior to us leaving, and then we come back. So
right, but it's harder to do when you're older.
100%. Yeah, this is she was like last year she was in kindergarten. This year she's in grade 1, and I already feel, and this is something they don't tell you as a parent, the further we get with technology and streaming shows, like there's so much content that they take in.
Right.
It's very difficult to keep the Santa thing going. Very. I gotta imagine
not
it was
the same
easier.
as when we were kids.
Right, exactly. Like it's so much harder. Like it wouldn't shock me if next year, like she'd be in the 2nd grade, she'd be what, 7, 8 years old. Like not that she would figure it out.
Yeah. Interesting. All right, that's our Christmas crap for the holiday season. We're doing a show tomorrow too, right?
We are,
but it's not coming out tomorrow.
No.
We will be interviewing and speaking with the one and only Andreas Antonopoulos. So that should be fun.
Yeah.
I don't know what we're going to ask him.
I have no idea. We'll ask him about his favorite Christmas present and how old he was when he learned about Santa Claus.
Okay, well, we'll definitely do that. We'll get some good rapid fires.
I think so.
I got some good new ones that we haven't used before.
Nice.
That I'll try out. But we should probably talk about some actual crypto stuff.
Yeah, he'll teach us about some stuff for sure.
All right, man. So that is going to do it for us. We will have one episode next week for the holiday week, and then we will be back, I guess, the week after.
Yeah, probably.
All right. And that's it. Until next time, don't get wrecked, and that is financial advice.
Hey, everybody. Thanks for listening. You can help support us by giving us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts and become a REKT patron by signing up for a monthly tier on patreon.com. That's patreon.com/REKT podcast. Don't get wrecked.